If you missed class today or need a little help, we talked about volume and density. Maybe you've seen the word density before in science class. And one way to think about density is the amount of weight or mass in a certain amount of space. So let me show you what I mean by this. If we had a lot of mass, a lot of stuff in a certain amount of space, this would be more dense than this one because that is less stuff in the same amount of space, so this is less dense. So some things that are really dense, like a bowling ball, really heavy, but maybe a balloon is the same size as a bowling ball, but it's way lighter, so it is less dense. So when you think about density, you're talking about the mass divided by the amount of space or the volume. So our formula for density, it equals mass divided by the volume. So to show how to calculate density, we're going to do an example here. And remember, density equals mass divided by volume. That is the big important formula you want to have written down. And it's the amount of stuff per unit volume or per volume. All right, so let's look at an example here. So if I have a cup of water that weighs 37.7 grams. So right away, that is talking about the mass. So this is the mass of the water, 37.7. What is the density of water? So I got to calculate the density, but I don't know the volume right now. But I can calculate volume because in geometry, we've learned how to calculate volume. So I'm going to use this formula sheet. I see, oh yeah, that's a cylinder. So volume is equal to pi r squared times height for this cylinder. So if I look at this cylinder, I see the radius. So let's do the volume here. Volume equals pi. The radius is 2, so 2 squared, and the height is 3 times 3. So the volume of this cylinder, if I just looked, that would be 2 squared is 4, 4 times 3 is 12 pi centimeters cubed, right? Because we did 2 times 2 times 3, which would be centimeters, centimeters, centimeter. That's centimeters cubed. So that's how much is in there. You could also do 12 times pi is like 37, 36-ish, right? 12 times 3. So now to find the density equals the mass divided by the volume. And we just figured out density equals the mass was 37.7 divided by, and 12 times pi is actually 37.7 as well. This one just worked out. Where the density of water, density equals, that is 1. The mass is grams per divided by centimeters cubed. Let me show you where this comes from. If I could type, that'd be great. So we had 37 grams. That was the mass on top. And the volume was 37, or 12 times pi, which is 37 centimeters cubed. So the units is going to be grams divided by centimeters cubed. So that means when we have water, every cubic centimeter is 1 gram. That's how much 1 cubic centimeter of water would weigh. So big ideas here. To find the density in geometry, first we're going to have to calculate the volume of our shape. So always calculate the volume of our shape. Then just do the mass divided by the volume to find density. But you got to calculate the volume first. So look at the shape. What is the volume of that shape?